Good morning. We are talking about Hebrews 11 and the life of faith, particularly as faith, this pulling from the unseen realms and living in the reality of the unseen realm in the seen realm. That's what we got from verses 1 through 3, where we're going to live by those lights, those unseen lights, and we're going to live that way, and it's going to find a particular expression and expressions, we should say, in the varied forms of what God calls us to do. And we get to see that through a slew of Old Testament saints as we see how faith demonstrates itself within the different particular circumstances of each of their lives. With that in view, I want to look at Hebrews 11:4 over the next 2 days, and we're just going to look at the first portion today. I'll read all of verse 4, though. It is a text about the character in the Old Testament from Genesis 4, known as Abel. You might be familiar with Cain and Abel. Cain killed his brother Abel, and we'll see a little bit why this morning. Hebrews 11:4. By faith Abel offered to God a more acceptable sacrifice than Cain, through which he was commended as righteous, God commending him by accepting his gifts. And through his faith, though he died, he still speaks. Abel was seen as righteous, and we see a kind of a legacy piece, and we'll talk about that tomorrow. But first we see that God accepted his gift, and we might wonder why and what that has to do with his righteousness. So let me read to you from Genesis chapter 4 this morning, beginning in verse 1. Now Adam knew Eve his wife, and she conceived and bore Cain, saying, I've gotten a man with the help of the Lord. I always think that sounds like a Southern belle. I've gotten a man with the help of the Lord. And again, she bore his brother Abel. Now Abel was a keeper of sheep, and Cain a worker of the ground. So they just have two different jobs. Nothing right or wrong, just neutral. They just have two jobs. One's keeper of the sheep, Abel. Cain is a worker of the ground, a gardener or a farmer. In the course of time, Cain brought to the Lord an offering of the fruit of the ground. And Abel also brought, and then we get these descriptors for his offering. We have no descriptors for Cain. We have an offering from the fruit of the ground. But for Abel we have, he brought of the firstborn of his flock and of their fat portions. Next sentence. And the Lord had regard for Abel and his offering, but for Cain and his offering he had no regard. You know the rest of the story, right? Cain gets mad, face falls, gets upset. God comes and addresses him, tells him he can change his attitude and he can do right and rescue himself from sin. But sin is crouching at the door, waiting to ravage him. And of course, Cain fails. And he ends up getting angry at having his offering rejected, and he ends up killing his brother Abel out of jealousy and out of frustration that God did not accept his offering. Well, here's the thing. Why was Abel's accepted? And I've heard people say because he offered a sacrifice. It was clear that he brought sheep, and so he would have killed them on an altar, and it was a blood sacrifice. And that is a misunderstanding of the text. It is reading later sacrificial dynamics back into this context here in such a way that you're adding meaning that probably is not present right here. That's known as an anachronistic way of reading, where you read back in something that's revealed later. It's real simple. It's right in the literature. Cain brings the ordinary, but Abel brings the firstborn and the fat portions. The picture's this. It's simple. Abel is righteous because he gives God his best. So let me tell you this. Give God your best because it's a righteous expression of faith. You believe God so much, you trust him so much that you want to give him your best. That's a righteous expression of the life of faith. So in work today, in family today, in friendship today, in attention today, in energy today, thought life today, give God your best. And so live a righteous life of faith. May the Lord bless you.